Hey guys, welcome to Chief Pigskin's YouTube channel. You're about to watch a home clinic where we find one quality coach and he talks on one very specific subject. If you'd like to see more of these come your way, please like and subscribe below and check us out at clinic.chiefpigskin.com.
What's going on, guys? I'm Anthony Gonzalez, head coach at Everett Alvarez High School. Before we start, I want to give a quick shout out to Coach Jones over at Impact Marketing Specialties. Give him a follow on Twitter. He's at Coach Nate Jones. They're offering 30% off for all coaches right now. Now I'd like to introduce to you Jesse Ceniceros. He is the head coach at the Monte High School in El Monte, California. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Today, Coach Ceniceros is going to be talking about double wing. This is going to be your fourth year this coming fall, correct?
Yes.
They just came off of a Division 5 AA California State title. They went 16-0 this year, and he's kind of been turning the program around. His first season, they went 5-5, and then in year 3, they're winning a state title. Coach, how do you go from 5-5 to winning a state championship?
Hard work, Coach. Hard work. We've been blessed, man, and I've been blessed everywhere I've been, where we get a great group of kids that believe in each other, and they work hard, and most importantly, they believe in the system. So I think when my first year getting there at El Monte, going 5-5, we were basically playing with a JV team. Mm-hmm. So now this was that year where that JV, that group of JV kids were now seniors. So it really showed.
Oh, that's awesome. Coach, like I was looking at your guys' stats on max preps and everything, and you guys had a kid that had almost 3,000 yards. And I think I saw already that all purpose, he was over 3,600 yards.
Yes.
Right. Like that's pretty impressive. And you had 15 guys touch the ball and 10 guys have touchdowns. Like that is pretty remarkable in a definite run first, offense where all you really see is, everyone's spread it out and slinging it. So like that's really, really good. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So without any further ado, to go ahead and feel free to share your screen and then start when you're ready.
First of all, thank you guys for having me, man. It's an honor to be here. I think that with technology and things like that now, man, you guys are really going to kill it in the future, and especially now that we're all down and we're looking for something to do. You guys are providing great resources for coaches out there that are wanting to get into the to get better, to learn from everybody, not just the guy like me, but other coaches also. So thank you guys. Appreciate that.
No problem.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do so I'll do a little presentation here about a little bit of background of myself and the double wing itself and where I picked it up from. And the main thing that we're talking about here during the clinic is some blocking variations that I do out of our base, our bread and butter play, which is the pitch play. I know there's a lot of guys out there, they call it different things. They call it the power. But again, I learned from the architect, the designer of the double wing offense. I learned from Don Markham. I was blessed enough to work as a young coach under him and trying to absorb as much information as possible. But we call it the pitch. So I'll go over, touch bases on that, the basics of it, our numbering system. But again, over the years of being a head coach and facing some really, really good football teams, I've had to adapt. And these three variations off that pitch play is what I'm going to be covering today. But again, here is my email that I just recently set up for this, because I know I have been getting a lot of interest, and I do get a lot of emails and huddle requests for film and things like that. So if you guys want to learn more about the double wing, or if you have questions from me, for me, there's my email. And then also I have a Twitter, which I promote, our football program there at El Monte, of all the good things that are going on. All right, so again, we're covering the double wing formation, the main play, which is the pitch play. I'm going to be going over the main blocking aspects of that, and then I'm going to be going over 2 blocking variations of that, and it's the tunnel and the push, those 2 plays. Now, the great thing about these variations is that I get this all the time. They're like, hey, coach, well, you only got 2 plays in your playbook. They think I only have 2 plays in my playbook because it looks like the same play, but in actuality, I really have about 4 different plays that look like the same play. So, and that's something that I've developed over the years, 14 years of being a head coach, and again, playing some really, really good football teams. In 2014, when I was at Norwalk, we played St. John Bosco. Playing those guys and playing the top athletes in the nation make you make some adjustments, and that's something that I've done over the years. So we're going to focus on that. A little bit about my background. The man that I learned the offense from was the man who invented it. His name's Don Markham. And I know a lot of you have probably heard of him, especially the guys, the double wing guys. But the newer coaches, he's the architect, man. He's the Yoda of the double wing. And I was blessed enough to have coached under him. I was a young coach, 1994. I had graduated from Bloomington High School in 1991, went back to Bloomington, wasn't really sure what I wanted to do after college. And I had heard these stories about this coach that's running this offensive system that was unlike anything else, and it scored lots of points. So I approached Don Markham, asked him if I could coach, and I landed being actually me and my father, being the freshman coaches that year. Varsity that year in 1994, which is a legendary season for all of high school football. They were national scoring champs. They scored 880 points. They went 14-0, and they were CIF champs. And so I coached with Don Markham at Bloomington until 1997. So he spent 3 years there, 3 seasons, winning 4 seasons, I believe. And 1998 was his last season, and he won 3 CIF championships. And I still stood at Bloomington when he left, because he went over to back up to Oregon. And I coached with another guy who took over the program there, and we landed winning 2 CIF championships in 2 years. So at Bloomington during that run, we won 5 CIF championships in 6 years. 1995 was the only year that we did not win a championship. For Don Markham, he's won 312 career games, 5 CIF championships he's won, different places, not just Bloomington, Colton High School. He even had a little stint there at Bishop Amat. But again, I told you about Bloomington, what they did there in 1994. In 2008, he was presented with a Lifetime Achievement Award by the National Football Foundation. Don Markham, unfortunately, he passed away 2 years ago. And honestly, I'm kind of doing this also as a dedication to Don, and to carry on the tradition of what he developed and what he came up with. So we want to carry this on, and we're doing it for Don. My personal background, I played and graduated from the University of Redlands. Again, I was an assistant coach under Don Markham from 1994 to 1997. And then after he left and he went back up to Oregon, Richard Smith wound up being the head coach there, which we won 2 CIF championships, 1998, 1999. And then Markham came back down, and he took over a program at Rialto High School, which was Division I at that time. And we landed up making the playoffs that year, and we lost to Loyola of Los Angeles in the first round game. And man, that was a really good game. We almost had them with a bunch of kids that in 1 year playing at Division I. And then after that, I traveled into Los Angeles as an assistant coach, went to Roosevelt High School, where we ran the traditional Delaware wing tee. And then after that, again, I've been lucky. I've been really lucky to coach under some really knowledgeable and some great high school football coaches. And the second one was Dick Bruick, which is a legend of high school football. He was coach at Full High, Fontana High School, for many, many years, national champions, I believe, in 1989. But I coached with him at Kaiser High School and really, really learned a lot from Dick also. So again, I've been lucky to learn from the best. For me as a head coach, this past season was my 14th season. My first year as a head coach was up in Barstow, California, up in the desert. 2 years there, took over the program, turned it around, and we made the playoffs. Norwalk High School was blessed to land up in Norwalk, where we, honestly, I think it was one of the strongest programs in the nation there at that time during that run. And then try to get closer to home, and I took over Chino High School, made the playoffs 2 years there also, and now I'm at El Monte High School. So as far as me, I take a lot of pride in this because I've made the playoffs 13 out of 14 years. And to me, that's all, I think, a testament to our system and the double wing system. And it's a system that wins. 3 quarterfinal appearances in those years, 4 semifinal appearances, 2 final appearances. And this year, we were CIF champs, Division 12, CIF Southern Section, and we were the regional championship champions in Division 5 AA for the state. And again, we were state champions also. So my overall record as a head coach, I have 111 wins with 58 losses. One thing that I wanted to touch basis in, because I am very, I defend my double wing a lot. And for some reason, we get a bad rap a lot of times that, the program and the system doesn't put kids at the next level. Well, I think they're wrong for all those guys that say that. Honestly, I think those guys that say that are just guys that really don't want to face the double wing because they know that, one, it's physical and it's going to beat their team up. And 2, they just don't want to have to prepare for it because for a lot of teams, our opponents that we face in 1 week, it's pretty hard to cover what we do. But so I want to touch bases, as far as some of the alumni that I've coached. First one, he has a big weekend. I think he's going to land up getting picked up this weekend with the NFL. His name is Dylan Famatau, and he played for me at Norwalk High School, and he's played for Oklahoma. And like I said, right now it's an exciting time for him in his life. Next is Elijah Penny, which also was a runner for me at Norwalk High School. He's now on the New York Giants. It's already going to be his 5th season. So there you talk about a kid that's really, really worked. Talk about a physical specimen. And not only that, just a great kid overall. Elijah Penny plays for the New York Giants. And then we got Rashad Penny, which is his brother. Also played for me at Norwalk, which was the 1st-round draft pick for the Seattle Seahawks 2 years ago. Again, tremendous family, awesome family. And the last, my running back here this year, Devon Booth, which just broke all kinds of records for us. He was the LA Times, which is a big, huge newspaper. It covers a large area. Was the back of the year, 2019. So again, I've coached many, many kids, thousands of kids, and many of those kids have gone on to the next level. And one thing that we pride ourselves on is that when kids play for my program is that they're going to be physical. They're going to know the basics, the fundamentals of football. And that's something that a lot of our kids, once they go to the next level, they're ready to go. Because again, as a college coach, there's one thing that you really do not want to have to coach, and that's physicality. Our kids are going to be physical. So that's something that we really, really do take pride in. Numbers for us this season, with what we did, we had 5,699 total rushing yards. We were 7th in the nation. We were number 2 in California. We scored 680 total points, which was number 1 in the nation this year. Which here's a couple of stats which are pretty eye-opening. We averaged 356 yards per game. And here's one that's pretty amazing. We averaged 10.6 yards per carry. And then our main running back, which was Devon Booth, rushed for 2,935 total rushing yards, number 9 in the nation. He scored 48 touchdowns. and he was #1 in the nation in total points. And my other guy, Abel Cuevas, rushed for 1,500 yards. And here's the thing on that in this past season is that honestly, I could say about 7 or 8 games were with running clocks. So our stats would have been increased tremendously by if we would have had full games. So what I'm going to cover today is the basics of the pitch and the blocking variations to our pitch. And our pitch is our bread and butter play. This is the play that if you don't get this play working, it's going to be a long and frustrating day for you. You have to establish this play. And this is the play this is what it looks like. This is Elijah Penny, again, who's now running for the New York Giants. This is 2010 when I was the head coach at Norwalk High School. That year we had a great team, strong. Kids worked hard. They were physical. They were nasty. You could just see here by bodies on the floor. You look at the get off and these guys' explosion. That's another thing that we really take pride on is exploding off the ball. And here's again, same play. That's a 45 pitch, but just ran out of the stack eye now. Again, this is a 36 pitch against a pretty good team in our area, St. Paul. Now we go in motion a lot of times and we run it out of the I wing. That's again, same play, but we just give them the defenses different looks, different angles. And I'll be talking about that today. Okay, so the double wing, the 36 pitch and our 45 pitch, like I said, is the bread and butter of our offense. It's a violent play. It's physical. It wears defenses out. Honestly, and more so, it breaks the spirit of defenses. And that's something that we, within my programs, we take a lot of pride in. And because again, what the style of football that we play, it's an old school style of football. It's physical. And again, like I said, I use that word, violent. You know, we'll use that word. I know it's kind of a word that has a question mark now, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with being violent on the football field as long as it's within the parameters of the game. But like I said, it breaks the spirit of defenses. If ran correctly, it's unstoppable. The 36 pitch and the 45 pitch, every single time you outnumber your opponent at the point of attack. And again, like I said earlier, if that pitch play is not established, things will be difficult. I know right now there's a lot of people, a lot of programs right now going to that RPO. And that's something that we also do. And our RPO, though, is a little bit different. It's run pitch often. So that's something that there's a group of us. And again, it's a small fraternity of coaches that run the double wing, the style of offense. And a couple of my buddies, man, that we really talk almost every day, daily. Coach Brown out of Chaffee High School. Coach Badorf out of Norter Vista High School. But again, these are all things that we've communicated amongst ourselves and that we've evolved over the years, and all, again, stemming from Don Markham and what he's done. But also what I was talking about earlier is that we take pride in, and again, I let our kids, and we do a mindset, and we entrench it in them that what we do is different, we're unique, and to take pride in that, to cherish that. And because again, that's something that's different. And I try to compare that to, like the Navy SEALs. The Navy SEALs are a different group of guys. But the one thing about those guys, the SEALs, is that everybody respects them because they know what they do and they know what they've gone through to become a SEAL. And it's the same thing with our program. And they carry that on to wherever they go, my players. All right, so our double wing numbering system is very, very basic. It's very easy. All our even numbers are to the right of the ball. Okay, so you got your 2-hole, your 4-hole, your 6-hole, and your 8, which is way outside. And then on the left-hand side, you got 1, 3, 5, and this is something that Don Markham had, and I never asked him question on this because it was Don, I didn't. But there's a 7 there, and then there's a 9 out there. So I've used that, and I haven't changed it up. Why? Because it works, and it's something that Don's done. But so for our plays, very basic. We still huddle up. Matter of fact, what we do is very old school. You know, we still huddle. We don't sprint to the line. Matter of fact, we walk up to the line of scrimmage. A lot of people ask me, well, coach, if you would have them run up to the line, but here's our thing. A lot of our guys go both ways, and this is something that I really learned from Markham. Markham said, why are you going to exert energy if most of your guys are going both ways by sprinting up to the ball? So our guys, you know, I send them the quarterback usually runs out to the sidelines. I give him the play. He gives the play to the players, and they walk up to the line of scrimmage. But again, one thing that we do pride in is, we're going to walk up to the line of scrimmage. But once that ball is snapped, it's an explosion. It's a beautiful thing when you see it. So what we have here, let me go back. Our play, again, our bread and butter play is the 36 pitch. So that meaning the first number is always going to be the back, who is getting the ball, okay? And our numbers are given to all of our skilled guys in the double wing. So our left side wing back is the 3 back. Our right side guy is our 4 back. Our full back is always our 2 back, and our quarterback is our 1 back. Now don't confuse these numbers, that's the holes. So for example, our 36 pitch means the 3 back is going to be going through the 6 hole. Pretty easy. Our 45 pitch, 4 back, going through the 5 hole. Okay, very, very basic, very easy. Again, we're dealing with high school kids. And one thing that I've learned over the years also, you don't want your kids thinking too much, because again, if they're thinking too much and they're not sure of what they are supposed to do or what they're doing, they're going to play on their heels. And the one thing that we want from our kids, we want them to play on the balls of their feet. So that's why we try to keep it as simple as possible. Our 24 trap, we won't be talking about that today, but our 24 trap is our 2 back going through the 4 hole, okay? And this motion here, it's all play action of another one of our big plays, which we run, is our 38 flies, our fly plays. Out of our double wing, we do have some variations in our formations, okay? So we do run our regular double wing, which you just seen up on the screen. It's very easy, and all we do is we move the fullback over, we move the quarterback back now out of under center, and the wing back now moves over next to the quarterback, and we run it out of the shotgun. Same plays, same numbering systems, same blocking responsibilities, nothing changes. Also, we'll do, every now and then, we run it out of the I wing. And depending on your athletes, your kids, some kids, I find out that they have a better angle of running out of the I, and they're running more downhill. With my guy this year, my guys, because again, I had some really, really good running backs. I had about 4 really good running backs. We could run it from whatever formation and whatever angle they were going to do it. And more of our power set will run the stack I. And again, it's the same place, same numbering systems. Nothing changes. All I do is call in the formation. I'll say shotgun, 36 pitch. And he'll go in, calls the shotgun, and they know they line up in the shotgun, and they run the plays. And again, why do I do this? Again, over all the years of coaching, again, I've played some really, really good football teams, some really good coaches. And again, that's made me, I'm lucky because it's made me who I am today. One thing I have not shied away from the double wing. I learned in that system. That's all I know. Again, 1 year of coaching in the traditional wing tee, which is a great transition to it back and forth. So if you're a wing tee guy and you're a double wing guy, you could go back and forth because a lot of the terminology and the systems are the same. But again, I'm not going to change it. Now, if I had grown up in a spread system, I'd probably be running the spread right now. But I learned from the double wing, and again, from my experience, I've experienced a lot of success with the double wing, so I'm not going to change anything up. So again, it creates multiple reads for the defense, creates multiple looks that the opponent must try and recreate during practice. So again, they're not just stuck to showing our traditional double wing. Now they're going to have to give different looks at practice, which take up more time. So that's something that we found that is beneficial for us. And again, it allows the coach, myself, to decide what look works best for the group of kids that I have. And again, everywhere that I've been, we've had some athletes. Trust me, we've had some good athletes. But we've had a few athletes, every year. We haven't been like some of these big top programs where they got an entire team full of athletes. We have one or two guys that are the dudes, and the rest of the guys that are blue-collar guys that are willing to get dirty and mix things up. So, and again, the great thing about this, what I love about it, is there's no changes to the player responsibilities with giving these different looks. Okay, so this is our formation out of our shotgun double wing. And again, all that happens is the three back, who's normally lined up here out of the double wing, quarterback is under center and fullback is behind him. All that he does is shift over, moves back, and moves over here. And I'm more of a right-handed guy, so I'm just going to show you everything to the right side. But obviously you can flip it and do it the other way, where the four back now is back here, fullback's over here, and three backs up here. So again, very basic, very easy. That's the shotgun double wing formation. Tim Murphy, okay, up north, is a guy who's done that and mastered that. And again, I'm the type of guy that's willing to learn and to make better what I do. So I've taken some of his stuff, what he does, and implemented it into my program. And here's another thing I just want to touch basis on it, is that, a lot of young guys, a lot of young coaches, this is some advice to you guys. Don't be those guys that look at my video or look at some other videos and that's what you're going to do that next season. Pick something that you're confident in. Pick something that you know is going to work for you and most importantly for your kids and your program, and stick with it. I see too many guys that I call them clinic coaches, which they'll go to these clinics. They learn something, and then that's what they're doing the next season. And then the next year comes around, and then they're doing something completely differently. So just stick with the system. And again, I'm not bashing anybody or anything like that. I'm just saying my advice to you after 14 years of being a head coach is to perfect it, to perfect your system, and to perfect it so much that at some point you'll be doing clinics like I'm doing. And to be honest, this is my first one ever doing. So again, I'm lucky and I'm blessed. So that's the shotgun double wing. The next look that we'll get out of the eye, again, all it happens is the three back, which is normally lined up here, now comes back here. And what we do is we do a lot of times, because our cadence is, again, very basic, very simple. It's simple. I tell some people and they kind of laugh at me. But our cadence is this: it's down, ready, set, go. Down, ready, set, go. So down is telling the wingback that he needs to go in motion. And by that time, with the ready, set, go is allowing him to get in the right place. So when the ball snapped, the quarterback, he's at the right angle to get him the ball. So nothing changes. The cadence is all the same. But what happens, what we saw a lot of defenses, what they're doing is they start timing it. They start timing the cadence. And they just, because again, we don't go on too often. But what we do is we'll call it motion, or we call it no play 36 pitch, no play, 36 pitch. And that's telling them is we are not going to run the play. And once he gets set up back here, we will run that 36 pitch. So basically it's like it's on 2. So I don't know if I'm making that more complicated or what, but we call it no play 36 pitch. We'll show it on film in a little bit, but the wingback goes in motion. The ball's not snapped when he says go, pauses a little bit and says go again, and then we run the play. And again, that keeps the defense a little bit more honest when we do that. And then we run it. This is our power football. In 2009, when I had Elijah Penny, who was our running back, who weighed 230 pounds. And then I had a fullback, which would land up being my 4-back out of the stack guy, which was 280 pounds and ran a 4.9 40. And then my other guy up here was 240. We ran it out of the stack guy, and we came downhill on people, and we beat a lot of people up with that. Here's my bread and butter play, the 36 pitch. Again, the 3-back going through the 6 hole. We've seen multiple different looks from defenses, especially this year. And one thing that we did over the years, we've seen a lot, was that when you're establishing a league and you're facing the same coaches and you're facing the same programs, you will see a lot of the same defenses. The last 3 years being here at El Monte, we've seen different defenses from the same teams. So that's something that again, we've had to adjust. And again, once you have the kids that they're sure of what they're supposed to be doing, their responsibilities, it shouldn't be a problem. But one thing that we do as a practice is one thing, again, I learned my practice plans. I've learned that from Dick Bruick, which we try to have a high tempo practice, especially in the defensive side. When we start our practices every day, we do our agilities, and we usually do that with bags every day. And that's something, again, I learned from Bruick, and by also Pete Carroll. They do a good job of that. When we used to go watch, when he was at USC, we used to go watch them practice, and they started their practice, every single practice, with bags. And that's something that we do. But we, high tempos, going from group to group, tackling stations, individuals, 7-on-7s, inside run, team D. And then we go over to offense, and we slow it down a little bit. On offense, we'll open up with our individuals. Offensive line usually go with me, and my skilled guys go with one of my great coaches, man, Coach Gallegos. And he does a great job with my running backs and my skilled guys. And then, honestly, and we'll do that for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then for the rest of the offensive practice, all we do is run team offense. And we run the same plays. We run the plays over and over and over and over against different defenses, over and over. And we're just creating repetition and repeating the plays so that, again, against multiple defenses, so that the kids know the plays, and again, they're playing on the balls of their feet. They're not playing on their heels, no matter what defenses are shown. One thing that we do get a lot also is up front, they try to move right before the snap. So they'll shift, they'll stem, and that's something that again, when you run the play over and over and again at practice, and you're showing the kids different defenses, it's not a problem. But with the 36 pitch, our center, we'll start with the center here. He's blocking back, and this is we get like a 4-3 look. A lot of times when we get the corners, teams then they bring up the corners up to the close the line of scrimmage, up in the box sometimes, and it's more like a 6-3. So our center is always blocking back. We get a double here at the point of impact between our guard and our tackle. Our tight end is going straight up to the next level, the middle linebacker. Fullback is, again, he's a guy it's got to be your dude. He's got to be your most athletic lineman. And again, he's got to be one of your most physical guys, because again, almost every single play he's in there and he's mixing it up and he's banging. So we tell him, we call it, again, that's something I learned from Don, and it sounds very very dumb, but we have him take a banana route, and that's something that we tell the kids. Arc. He takes an arc. But he takes a banana route to that end. He's hitting him with his outside shoulder, his right shoulder right here, and he's kicking him out. With the corner being up close to the line of scrimmage like that, the wingback will just block him out. A guard in a 4-3 look like this, guard is pulling, staying tight. I call this a tunnel here. I call this area between the tackle and the end of tunnel. And what I want is I want that guard brushing the rear ends of both the guard and the tackle, and then taking an angle so he allows himself a better angle to kick out this outside linebacker. Tackle, again, same route, in nice and tight to that inside tunnel, and he's looking inside. And sometimes that safety flies up inside, and he may have to get that safety to tackle. Backside tight end, he's kicking out the end. And again, our cadence, down, ready, set, go. The wingback leaves on down. By the time he gets about over the guard, the ball is snapped, quarterback turns, pitches in the ball. And the great thing about this offense is the quarterback turns. I didn't draw it up right here, but he turns, and he's also going up in the hole. And since the corners are already being blocked, he's going to land up getting the safety. So that's our bread and butter play, the 36 pitch. The other way, same thing. This is the 45 pitch, same blocking responsibilities. It's just the other way. Talking about personnel, what we do sometimes is that we're playing some really good football teams that have some studs at the end spots. I mean, when you're playing St. John Bosco, most of those guys that are on the defense, I think 8 or 9 of them landed going D1 that year. What we do is we'll shift him over in between the guard and the tackle here. And then so what that does is that creates quicker time that he's getting to that end, so that end doesn't have more time to close down that hole. So that's something, again, over the years that we've made adjustments to these plays. Now, that's our bread and butter play. These are the blocking variations that we do from that. And again, it's the same play. When you're facing these opponents, this defense, and when they're looking at it, it looks like the same play because the motion's the same. People are going in the same area, but when you look up close and you look at under a magnifying glass, it's actually different than the pitch. So what we're doing is sometimes this end gives us this opportunity for our tight end, who a lot of times, again, your tight end, again, has got to be a dude also. He's got to be an athletic, probably your second most athletic lineman that can catch. Your lineman that catch the ball the best. And what he does, he has a one-on-one block here with the end. He's kicking out. You still get that double team with your guard and your tackle. You still got that down block with the center, and you're still pulling. The guard is pulling, looking inside. Now he's looking inside because now the fullback in the pitch, the fullback was kicking out the end, but now the fullback has got that outside linebacker. And again, he's taking a route, and he wants to stay tight inside to that tunnel, and he's going to kick out that linebacker. And again, the tackle's pulling, looking inside. And that is the tunnel. Again, it's a variation that I've used, that we've come up with over the years. Guys like Myron Miller, which ran the double wing at Tustin for many, many years. Deshaun Foster was one of his running backs, NFL guy. You got over at Compton Dominguez, which was Donnerson, Coach Donnerson. And then at Compton High School, you got Calvin Bryant, who's also running the double wing. So again, there's not too many of us out there, but I want to give a little shout out to those guys because, again, it's a small fraternity of us coaches that are doing this offense. And again, the tunnel the other way. And again, for the coaches that are listening, hit me up on an email, and I will forward you this presentation. And again, forgive me, guys. This is the first presentation that I've done. Again, I'm an old school guy. I learned from old school guys. And a lot of my playbooks are on clipboards, pencil and paper. So this is all new to me. So, but again, it's embracing technology, especially in times like this where we have a lot of time in our hands to become better coaches. And the last variation here that I have, which I take a lot of pride in, is the push. I call it the push, 36 push. And what we're doing now is rather than creating a double team right here with our, now this is the play side, with our guard and our tackle like we do in the pitch and the tunnel. What we're doing now is we got a single block, a man block here with our guard. And now we're double teaming out, pushing out. That's why I called it the push right here with the defensive end. Because again, remember, I will run the pitch probably 95% of the time, I think. Now, it's probably a little bit less. But when these defenses and these players are seeing that play over and over and over, their reads become predictable. So what I've done is over the years is I've said, hey, well, how can we change up these reads so that now we're messing with the linebackers' reads. We're messing with the ends' reads. We're messing with his tackle because, again, a lot of times this tackle here, he's getting double teamed almost every single play. And if he's not getting double teamed, he's getting cut on the backside from our tight end. What we've done, again, I've come up with this push, and it's created a whole nother area for us to get better with. And again, I think a lot of the success that I've seen over the years, the last few years, is because I've come up with the push here, which again, a lot of the defenses that we're playing, the coaches, they're looking at the play, they think it's the pitch. All right, this guy's going to down block. You're going to get a double-double. Guard's going to pull. But in actuality, and I'm giving secrets away, but that's okay. It's actually a different play. It's the push. And again, the 43 push, the 4-back, going through the 3-hole is the other way, to the other side. And again, guys, right now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and watch some film. I'm going to pull up Huddle right now, and we're going to watch some film, and we're going to watch those 3 plays that I talked about. And again, I'm going to show you guys, a lot of the different looks that we get. I know during this presentation, it's pretty hard, but I think you guys, once it's up on YouTube, you guys could go back, you guys could rewind. And again, feel free, please. There's my contact in the bottom. There's my email. Shoot me an email. And obviously, I think, like I said, I'm going to embrace this technology thing, and hopefully I can develop a website or something like that where I could provide more resources for coaches out there. Because again, we want more guys to run the double wing. It's a great offense. It's a beautiful thing. Don't believe the naysayers, man. Again, I've had nothing but success with this offense, and I think that many of my peers have had the same success, and I think there's many of you out there that are going to see success by running this system. So again, there's my email, cenicerosdoublewing@gmail.com, and then also, again, I have a Twitter if you guys want to message me on Twitter, EMHS football. All right, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and go on Huddle, and we're going to go ahead and look at some of the plays which I talked about. Coach, how are we doing? Are we good on time and stuff?
Yeah, you're doing fine.
Okay. So again, the first play, which I talked about, our bread and butter, is the 36 pitch. And let me see, let me move this here. Let's go back to present here again. So again, so again, our bread and butter play, guys, I get it's a little bit more detailed here. You get to have a little bit bigger view. But the great thing about this play, guys, is that you're getting more of your guys. So we're actually getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys to the point of attack, which is in between the tackle and the end here, hopefully before the defense gets there. And when we do find that we do get slowed down and teams do a better job, they get their guys the same time that we get there. So again, some of the guys that have had a lot of success with that, slowing down the double wing, that's something that I found that they do a good job of. So again, that's our 36 pitch, down, ready, set, go. Wingback goes in motion. And again, you get a double team. Tight end's got a clear shot up to the middle linebacker. Guard, the green here is pulling, staying tight to the inside and kicking out the outside backer. Tackle pulling, looking inside. Quarterback in this formate and this defense lands up turning, pitches the ball, and then gets up to the safety. Same thing the other way. I can go ahead and give you one thing that I didn't do on this PowerPoint was to put down actually the responsibilities for each position. But hopefully with this this slide here on huddle, you guys can see the responsibilities and where they're going. And again, at another time, I could do another clinic, either for myself or for you guys, but we could get into more detail like technique and things that we work on during practice to make our kids physical. Some of the things that we do, you know, weight room for us guys is a big part of our success. We love the weight room. Our kids love the weight room. So we take a lot of pride in that. Again, the tunnel, the 36 tunnel here, we get a one-on-one block with the tight end. And again, in order for you to do this, guys, it's got to be a guy right here. Our tight end this past year, he was about 6'1", 6'2", and he was about 260 pounds and moved really good. He ran about a 5'2", 40. But again, he was able to get one-on-one blocks and do what we had to do. And sometimes some of the other intricacies, what we do, guys, is we ask this guy to get a little bit bigger split to widen out this end, obviously because they're alignment to our players. And then one thing inside here, we tell our guys, obviously, and here's another thing I didn't go over, our alignment up front, where this guy's about a foot off from the center. The guards are a foot off from the center. Guards toes to the heel of the center. And then toe to toe here. And then most of the time toe to toe, but on the tunnel, we ask them to get a split. It's about 1 foot split. Blocking responsibilities, we still get that double team here between the guard and the tackle. But again, the only difference this time is the fullback now, rather than kicking out the end, because now they've split responsibilities. The fullback now has got the outside linebacker. Guard pulls and looks inside. Against the 5-2. And here's another thing, guys. Again, it's all dependent on what our opponents do. And sometimes we'll see a 50. We'll see an out front. And sometimes this end is really wide. Gives us a nice space here. So what we do is now we snap up the wing back up to the line of scrimmage. And now he's got that one-on kick out block with the defensive end. And that allows us to get a double team here with the tight end and the tackle. Allows us to get another double team here with our center and our guard. Obviously, we're working up to the next level, guys, always, every single time, hip to hip. You know, we tell our double teamers to work hip to hip and then get up to the next level. And again, same thing, fullback's got that next level, guard and tackle pulling, looking inside. And that's against a 50 front. And again, it's all dependent on what these guys give you, guys. It's all what-if scenarios. And that's, again, something that my first couple years, my first year, I wasn't doing. But again, with experience, just like anything, guys, you get better. And again, here's the 45 tunnel against the 40 look the other way. And then here's the, again, against the 50. There's a little animation there. And then here's the push. Again, I really, really like this play with my wingbacks this year. And I had a really good group of smart kids this year, really smart kids that made a lot of adjustments on their own. You know, a lot of times they would come back to the sidelines and, hey, coach, they're showing us the push. They're showing us the push, coach. I'm like, okay, well, let's go back. Next time we go back out there, we'll show them the push. And one or two plays later, we're breaking for touchdowns. So again, now with the push, the big difference is now we're getting the double team. Normally we got the double team with the guard and the tackle, but now we get the double team right here with our tackle and our tight end pushing out. We call it the push because we're pushing out. And now he's got a man-on-man block, one-on-one block here, shade blocking. Okay, obviously that's what we teach. Fullbacks got up to the next level, guard, tackle, pulling, looking inside. Remember, most importantly, one thing that we really do stress is staying tight to that inside tunnel right here. We call that tunnel. And there's the, the push the other way against the 40 and the 50. All right, so what we're going to do right now, guys, is we're going to go ahead and look at some plays from my little library here. And again, if you guys have Huddle, you guys can shoot me. I haven't been on Huddle too often right now, but shoot me an email on that email that I sent you and just ask me, hey, Coach, can you send me some film? Send me your Huddle contact, and I'll try to send you a couple of games of what we're doing. 16 games, guys. A lot of game film. All right, so right here, this is our 36 pitch, okay? And this, again, Devon Booth right here is our 3-back. Your best back, guys, is gonna be your 3-back, okay? That's your dude. That's gonna be your guy. And this is the 36 pitch. This is what it looks like. Goes in motion. And I think this was the very first play of the, actually this, yeah, it was, I don't know, first play of the game, because I think the play before that, we ran a no play and they jumped offside. So yeah, it was 1st and 5 right here. But again, responsibilities, you know, fullback, again, we teach him, he's got this guy here. So we want him going inside out. Okay, and we call that the banana route. Here, they should be working. It looks like he's in between the guard and tight end here. So they should be working for a double team right there. Wing back, most likely is going to get up to the outside linebacker. But if this guy crosses his face, we also ask him to pick up that guy. So that's a rule that we have in general, is if somebody crosses your face, that's who you pick up now. That's now your man. This is also a 36 pitch. And again, guys, like I said, I'll run the 36 pitch, the 45 pitch. It's got to be, I don't know, maybe 90% of the time. The motion. It's a beautiful thing, guys. And again, this was the 3rd year for a lot of these guys running this system. Again, I got there in 2017. And, you know, this was the 3rd season of them running that system. Backside over here, it's not really a good technique. We don't teach that with my tight end. He was a new guy this week, but we asked him to attack the inside thigh of the inside man that's lined up in front of him. And this guy just falls out on the floor. That's not how you cut block, guys. But again, I could have, you know, showed you plays where they were all perfect, but you're not going to find that many because, again, not every single time is everybody on all 11 men doing the proper thing. So again, this is, again, 36 pitch, guys. We don't change the play call up. All I do is call it stack eye. Call it stack eye, 36 pitch. And again, now I pull out my other wing back over here and I put my tight end that was normally here. I move him now to the fullback, and then my fullback steps back, and we just run the same plays, same blocking schemes, blocking responsibility, nothing changes. All right, now here's one of the pushes right here, guys. So again, where they were lined up, this gave us an option to run that push. And if you could see right here, this guy was actually stemming out. See that? So we said, hey, let's run the push right there. So we did that. Again, it looks like the same play. Guys going in motion. Everybody's going in the same spot, but it's actually different blocking variations from that, which creates different looks for our defenses. Again, here's the pitch, but we run it out of the I wing this time now. And again, like I said, guys, it's all dependent on your dudes and what they can do. And again, I provide about 4 different options for our guys to thrive. And this is one of those options. The I wing provides more of a downhill look for our running back. But again, nothing changes. Same responsibilities. That's the I wing. Now, this is something out of the shotgun. I started doing more of the shotgun stuff my last year in Norwalk, 2013. I think I should have ran more of that year. But again, the same plays, just again, out of different formation. And all that changes here, guys, quarterback now moves from under center, the fullback shifts over, and now the wingback, the 4-back, is now lined up there. And it's the same play. It's the same exact play. I call it shotgun 45 pitch. Shotgun 45 pitch. Again, you get a lot of nasty blocks up front. If you look here at the double team between the tackle and the tight end. Okay. And we actually, that's something that we do coach up. We tell the kids, hey, you want to get that guy and you want to throw him on the laps of the linebackers. And these guys get actually pretty close to doing that. So you see that here. Watch these 2 guys. Keep an eye on this guy right here, this tackle. So it's a beautiful thing. This is now here's another variation again. Something that we do. We call this motion, shotgun motion 36 pitch. Shotgun motion 36 pitch. So what they do is we line up in our shotgun formation. We call that motion. He's going to motion across. When he hears down, he just comes across. It's a distraction. And we run the 36 pitch. Nothing changes. This is going to be the 43 push right here, guys. 43 push. And again, rather than getting a double team here with our tackle and our guard, we're now going to get a double team with our tight end and our tackle on this side, play side right here. You see that? Okay, number 82 right there and number 51. Okay, they do a good job of pushing out. And that's something that we see a lot of also is these guys will shift the last minute right before our play, and they try to confuse our kids. And some kids, some teams, we do get confused. We've gotten confused over the years when teams do that. But again, showing them every single type of look possible during practice, and again, under conditions, high tempo conditions, allows them to make those adjustments on the fly. My guard play side man right here, he does a really good job closing out. Look at that, shade blocking. This is a 34 push now, same play, just going the other way. And again, it's all dependent on what teams will show us. And again, this is one, we give another look. I don't know if you noticed by my wing back up here, okay? He snaps up to the ball, to the line of scrimmage. And again, I could have showed you guys every, plays where we break every single time. But again, that's not going to do anybody any good. And a matter of fact, I'm showing you some plays against some good teams that made us make adjustments on the fly. And this is the 36 tunnel. Now this is a tunnel right here. Okay, so what we did here now is the wing back snaps up. Okay, my 4-back snaps up to the line of scrimmage, and now he's going to kick out. He's supposed to get this guy, but I think this guy slanted out, crossed his facing, landed up kind of double teaming with the tight end right there. But this is a tunnel. And my guys pulling didn't do a good job. They should have been pulling looking in. 52 here pulls. For some reason, he's looking out, and it could have been a touchdown right there. But if you look at 52, he's pulling, doesn't stay tight to this inside tunnel. For some reason, he pulls around the corner, and he's looking outside for some reason. And again, I'm going to show you guys things that so that when you guys come across that, those are adjustments that you guys can make. This is second round of the playoffs against a really good football team, Nordhoff. And this is the 45 pitch, guys. 45 pitch right here. Again, another thing that we take pride in, getting off that ball, getting off that line of scrimmage, guys, and exploding off the line of scrimmage. And I could do that. I could go over that later, guys, with some stuff that we do at practice to get us better with that. Even some stuff that we do in the weight room. When I was at Norwalk, we had a sled that you would load up with weights. It was made by Ray Carruthers. And our kids loved that machine. And they would rack it up with weights, and we'd get after it, man. But we're shoulder blockers, okay? I know there's a lot of different programs out there that teach different techniques. I want to touch on that. We still teach, we're old school, man. We teach the rip. I had some video up here. Maybe I could pull it up at the end. But one of the kids that is hopefully going to land up in the NFL this weekend, Dylan Famatau, of what he used to do, what we used to do in the weight room on that sled. Uh, 45 tunnel, sorry about that, 45 tunnel on this side. Okay, tight end here didn't do a good job. All he did was step in front. He didn't shoot his hips. Okay, he didn't move his feet. And the guy actually lands up almost making the tackle there. This is I-wing right, 36 pitch. And again, just different angles. Beautiful sight here, guys. If you could keep an eye on my tackle right here, Big Simon Cho. It was only his second year of ever playing high school football. It was key on him. Okay, he actually threw his opponent on the lap of the ref, and we're okay with that. So again, guys, it's a beautiful thing. This offense. Again, I have nothing but praise about it. Again, it's provided me with a lot of success. This is a 36 pitch out of the stack I now. Again, same play, same blocking responsibilities. Nothing changes, and we walk into the end zone. And we'll make this the last one. This is the 36 pitch. And if you just see at the point of attack right here, guys, it's a beautiful thing, man, the way things open up here. And a lot of times what we do is and I'm gonna be honest, our running back this year didn't really do a good job of it. And again, I'm saying a lot because, I mean, the kid rushed for almost 3,000 yards, but he would have had another 500 yards if he would have hit the back door more. And that's what we tell our kids. We tell them to hit the back door, that meaning hit the hole and then hit the back door, come backside. I mentioned the door song, Backdoor Man, Jim Morrison, and they look at me like I'm crazy. And that goes to show you how old I am. But that's about it, guys. Hit me up. Contact me via email, via Twitter. And again, I hope that helps you guys out a little bit. Again, very simple, guys. Nothing complicated. For some reason, a lot of people think that the system is a complicated one. And in actuality, it's really not. But again, the most important thing that you have to do is repetition. You got to run the plays over and over and over. And your kids might get bored. But once, like I said, the hard part for us and our programs is practice. And our practices should be harder than our games. And thank God this year we went 16 games and they were. So again, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity. And again, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to contact me.
Great job, Coach. So as you were doing your presentation, obviously I was enjoying my personal clinic that I was getting right now. You did talk about like going through the back door, right? And whenever I've played against this defense or offense, or I've tried to coach against this offense, that always seems to be a really big issue. Is like, we have everything covered play side, but then the running back just cuts it back and slips out the back door. How often does that happen?
Well, you know what? Like I said, a lot of defenses, when they try and they attempt to have success against what we do, what they try to do is, they try to get more of their dudes to the point of attack than we get. Mm-hmm. So that's again, a good defensive coach is going to coach their kids up to read their keys. And when they see their keys, that just say their read is a guard, and their guard pulls, what are they going to do? They're going to fly downhill, and they're going to try and get in that hole. So a lot of times that, again, creates lanes for our guys, because what they're doing basically is they're over pursuing. And again, I mean, a lot of times it opens up for us. But again, like I said, and I'm going to be honest, our fullback, Abel Cueva, number 20, he did a great job of that this year. And again, but he ran for us for 3 years. This was his third year of being a wingback for us. And he found that out, and for some reason, Devon, I think a lot of times he was dependent on his speed, and he got used to breaking outside. But again, he would have scored at least 15 more touchdowns, I think, if he would have done a little bit better job of hitting that back door. But yeah, I think that what it is, it's created from defenses that are over pursuing, mm-hmm. and they're overly aggressive, because again, in order to stop this offense, you got to be really aggressive.
Right. I mean, so defensive over pursue, we're looking for back door. Defense are sound, they don't get as many guys to the point of attack. So it kind of puts the defensive guys in a really bad spot. Has there been anything that you've ever come across where you it's just this is a really solid defensive plan? What has given you trouble the most on offense?
Yeah. Just again, when their dudes are better than our dudes, it sounds crazy, but some good teams that I faced over the year, being in a league with a team like La Mirada, with Mike Machete over there, he's the head coach, where every single year, it was going to be a war, because, he was always going to have, his kids were always going to be a great coach, but, a lot of times they just ran in a base of 4-3. And again, they did a great job of teaching their kids to read their keys and to get to the hole, the point of attack before we got there. But, so a lot of 4-3s that we've seen, and again, we've seen everything. I've seen everything over the years. I mean, I've seen, 7-3s. I mean, 5-3, 4-3, mm-hmm. 6-3, so I mean, it's 7-1, 9-1. I mean, we've seen all kinds of stuff, crazy things. But again, I think a lot of times our kids get frustrated. A lot of times when teams, and it's not them stopping us, it's just the frustration, is them cutting us up front. And that's something that over the years, again, during practice and again, weight room stuff that we do, that we teach our kids. And one thing I teach our kids, our linemen, is to be skip loaders. And we tell them, if they're cutting you got to become a skip loader. You got to pick that kid up and you got to roll them over. You have to make that lane. Seriously.
Yeah.
We use a lot of terminology, guys, that is very simple and basic, something that the kids will understand. And again, one thing that we do stress is being physical.
Awesome. One last question. Okay. So, on TV, all we really see is people throwing the rock. The kids see it all the time. Parents, it's easy to understand, the ball being thrown into the air. So how is it hard for, when you first start or take over a program, is it hard for you to get the kids to believe in the system at first?
You know what? My first year, you're always, no matter what, even if you do run the spread, taking over a program, you're going to get some kids that are going to doubt you. They're going to doubt the program no matter what, because their coach is gone. The coach, their normalcy, their stability, the coach that they had there is gone now. But again, like I said, man, earlier, I'm blessed. I'm really blessed. I'm lucky, again, that I've coached under some great coaches. And again, I've coached under some old school guys, man. And, one thing that I've learned from them is you have to be yourself, and you can't be dependent on what other people think of you and your system. So that's something that, and again, no matter what, and that's another thing, my advice to you guys, no matter what, man, you're not going to make people happy. And that's something that again, I've not only learned from coaching, but again, I've learned from, my dad. I'm still blessed. I have my dad with me. And, matter of fact, he's one of my assistant coaches, man. And that's something that he's always told me, no matter what, you're never going to make people happy. But with that being said, again, I'm lucky because I've had success, and I have guys that have gone to the ultimate level that are now playing in the NFL. And, and it's easy just to say, hey, you have any doubts, you need any reassurance, turn your TV on Sunday, so-and-so channel, and there's a kid that's run the double wing, that's come out of the double wing. And like I said, the double wing, I don't know why it gets a bad rap, but again, every single college coach that I talk to, man, loves our kids, because again, they're not going to have to coach up their kids being physical. They come from our program. They're not going to have to coach up a lot of times a kid having to read keys as a running back and find lanes and things like that. But again, you'll get some kids that, that are predominantly receiver type kids. But once they understand that, hey, I can now run the ball 25 times a game, holy camole, I'm going to get a lot of recognition. The spotlight's going to be on me. So again, that's something that I did have difficulties with. And again, it varies from place to place. And again, this system may not work at all places, but that's only by choice, though. That's only by choice, because that's, I think, if you don't get total buy-in. But again, I've been blessed. I've had a lot of success. So I have not had problems with that. And again, I'm lucky because a lot of the kids that I've coached, my alumni, they come back. They come back to my school and they visit and they hold camps. The Penny brothers will hold a camp. And again, it's good for them, for my current kids, to see players like that are now thriving in the ultimate levels.
For sure. That's always helpful. All right, Coach, I'm going to sign us off. Do you have anything else that you want to add before we go?
No, just thank you guys, man. Thanks for the opportunity. This was my first try. So forgive me if I went long or whatever. But again, if you guys have any questions or anything, just feel free to contact me. Thank you guys again. Thank Chief Pigskin, man. You guys are doing a good thing.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Hey, coaches, please like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on our most recent videos for our YouTube channel. Also, make sure you check out our online clinic at clinic.chiefpigskin.com. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.